Welcome to Redvee TV's preview show, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2019 season, as we look ahead to St Helens Challenge Cup semi-final tie against the Halifax Blue Sox.
Fax machines.
Halifax Fax Machines. RLFC, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Expecting a tight one?
What, in the first game of the day?
Do you know what? Genuinely, I do not care what the result is as long as we win. We can win by golden points.
1-0 or something.
1-0. Own goal, own try. Don't
Making
care.
your own rules up here.
I don't care. Saturday has one result,
Yeah.
and that's getting to Wembley.
Yeah.
And I don't care how we do it,
Yeah.
as long as we do.
Well, you can see from the squad that Holbrook's not taking it lightly. He could have named a squad similar to the London one, probably just a couple more of the big names back in. But he's showing Halifax the respect they deserve and showing that this game is a bigger game than the London game.
Well, for me, if you don't go 100% with your best team in a Challenge Cup semi-final,
Yeah.
and it goes wrong,
You're
Then-
open to
then
just getting
you're-
fired out the door, aren't you?
open to it, and you should be. And at the end of the day, Justin's not going to take that chance, is he?
No.
Saints, we've got essentially four big games left this season if we win them,
Yeah.
or we win the Open semis. So you've got to focus on these games, and this is the first.
Yeah.
Next one after this will hopefully be a Challenge Cup final.
Yeah.
So plenty of squad changes this week.
Yeah, 8. So again, I've had to write them down. So Johnny Lomax, Tommy Makinson, Kevin Nagama, Mark Percival, Theo Farge, Alex Walmsley, James Roby, and Luke Thompson all come back in, and will all start the game. And they've replaced Adam Swift. So with Lachlan Coote missing out due to injury, have you heard anything more on that?
Well, obviously the rumours circulated the weekend that people have heard that he's out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The club's line on it was that he was going for another scan, but you know what? Injured or not, he can be out for 4 weeks because essentially we're playing Halifax, Wakefield at home, Warrington,
And then Leeds.
Leeds.
Well, you'd probably get a rest against Leeds anyway.
Or you might give him a little bit of a run out to try and give him a bit in his legs before a
No,
chance.
I mean, if he was fit, he'd be missing Leeds anyway, you'd imagine.
But don't take any chances, do you?
Yeah, Adam Swift missing kind of obviously puts the knock on the head of people's ideas of slotting Tommy Makinson back at fullback and putting Swifty on the wing. Aaron Smith misses out, Joe Batchelor, Josh Eves, Callum Hazard, Jack Wellesby, who was the other prime 1-4 playing at fullback this week, Josh Sim and Lewis Dodd all miss out.
Yeah, I think for me, Aaron Smith is probably the unlucky one to miss out on the 19. He's done well the last few weeks. Maybe there's a chance to give him a little bit of a break.
It possibly is. I actually think that at the minute...
I think he'll get more game times before Wembley.
I actually think at the minute that James Bentley's moved ahead of him.
Possibly.
And I think it's James Bentley's versatility at being able to play second row and do a stint at hooker, similar to what we've asked Morgan Knowles to do in the past. I think that kind of puts him just a little bit ahead of Aaron Smith. Now, I don't want to be overly critical of Aaron Smith. When Josh Eves came on, he tried scooting from dummy against London. He tried scooting from dummy half a little bit, and I want to see Aaron Smith do a little bit more of that. And that's my only criticism, because I think he's gone great. His defence has been good. He has picked the right side to go, the right options. He's got a good set of hands on him. But I just want to see a little more, I don't know, dynamism from him going forward. And that's the only criticism. And he's a young lad, and it seems really harsh. And I do feel harsh actually picking little holes in him. But I think when the season's going so well, this is what the players are probably going to get, where you get the tiny bits of games. You're nitpicking at them.
So obviously after the squad got announced today, there was discussion generated. What do you go with at fullback? Do you go with Johnny Lomax there, or do you go with Matty Costello there? Now for me, my thinking is, or the thoughts behind it is, that Johnny Lomax is going to go to fullback on the basis that if it was going to be Matty Costello, you would have done it at London and put Jack Wellesby at centre, which was what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah. As
it was, Jack Wellesby played then and is not in the 19 this week. So Johnny Lomax to fullback and a chance for Danny Richardson to play in the halves with Theo Farge.
Yeah, I personally I'd have gone with Jack Wellesby. I don't necessarily like changing almost two positions. So moving Johnny Lomax to fullback where he's not really played all year.
But then you could argue Danny Richardson's already at 7 last week, so you're only actually changing one.
He was, but he's not.
Lomax for Wellesby.
But he's not your 7 in your best team, is he?
No.
And that's what we're playing. We're not playing a second string. I've no problem with Danny Richardson coming in. I mean,
but again, is Justin Holbrook trying to just go for the best available 17 players and get them all on the field?
Yeah, I think
and obviously
so.
Danny Richardson at this moment in time is ahead of Jack Wellesby.
Yeah. I mean, I could be doing again Danny a bit of a disservice for his London game because the pack, or the majority of the pack, weren't kind of dominant.
He had a couple of moments though, didn't he?
He did have a good couple of moments. I mean, he's supported well for his tries. He's had a little show and go run and got taken out high. You know what? I'm going to put it down to rustiness that his kicking game wasn't on point.
And equally as well, having an unfamiliar halfback partner in Joseph Paolo, you can't help. So do you know what? This is a really good opportunity for Danny Richardson should he get the nod at 7 because he'll be playing back in essentially the best Saints side.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses for him not to show what he can do against lower league opposition on the big stage. It's a chance for Danny to essentially either stake his claim for a place back in the first team, or put himself in the shop window should come the end of the year that he decides he'd like to move on and the club are agreeable to it.
I'm going to actually, when I was thinking about my team before the squad was announced, I would have played Jack Wellesby at fullback. I would have probably still played Danny Richardson, but I'd have played him ahead of Theo, and I'd have potentially put Theo on the bench, because then if Jack Wellesby gets the jitters at fullback, you can drop Lomax back and you can put Farge on. Theo can play at 9 as well if Roby needs a rest.
But is that harsh on Theo?
It possibly is, but this is where it's your phrase of horses for courses, and if that's a way of getting Jack Wellesby more game time, I am a little bit surprised he's not even in the squad, to be fair, because I think it would be an absolute left field decision to drop Matty Costello in at fullback.
Yeah, and assuming that Matty Costello's not going to be in the 17 because he's in as a centre, does that maybe say there may be a doubt over someone injury-wise? Because obviously you might have gone with Jack Wellesby in the 19 to keep Van Tiesson. Unless we've been completely double bluffed all the way along and it's going to be Matty Costello.
Yeah, exactly, which wouldn't surprise me. That's it, and I put it out there when I tweeted the squad earlier, and just within about an hour I just took a couple of people's responses on social media. We'll just start with a couple from Facebook. Liam Armstrong said he'd go for Lomax 1, Theo 6, Danny 7. One of them needs to be the real organiser, which is what we'll miss from Coote, and allow the other two to play what's in front of them. We're showing the right level of respect to Halifax, which I've just said as well with this lineup. But if the goal kicking of Richardson is needed, then we are doing something wrong. Now that's it. It's just a confident Saints fan who thinks that we are going to steamroll at Halifax, and I think especially second half, once kind of fitness tells, that's going to be.
I think even the most ardent Halifax fan would think that it's going to be a tough afternoon.
Yeah,
but it's a cup tie, and we had it against Catalan last year, didn't we? And look what happened there.
Ryan Buckley on Facebook as well. Wellesby should have been one for me. Farge and Lomax are on fire in the halves. Richardson just hasn't cut it for me, for myself. Of what I've seen of him this season, his all-round game has been abysmal. I think that's a bit harsh. He's got 3 points in one game for Man of Steel. He has been okay, to be fair. And he says, I hope I'm wrong come Sunday if he plays. And we had a reply, Phil Grundy, to that saying, you clearly haven't been watching Richardson. When Richardson came back in, when Farge was injured, the right-hand side scored 12 tries to a previous 2. So does that get you money on Kevin Nagama, Tommy Makinson to score a couple?
Now you've said it.
Now I've said it, there you go. And then we've got others from Twitter, at Jabu Ward. Got to be Richardson, shouldn't even be discussed, Lomax at 1.
That's the Danny Richardson fan club, isn't it?
Yeah. The fact, got to be Richardson, shouldn't even be discussed. Well, he's not the first choice halfback. So this is where you're discussing. Do you go with your first choice halfback combination?
And your second choice fullback, or
your third choice halfback, really, in Danny Richardson, and move one of your good
potentially
halfbacks.
your third choice fullback.
Yeah, that's a bit
in Lomax.
That's blinkered for me.
Yeah,
Bit of a ridiculous statements, if you don't mind
Get
me saying.
Get off that fence, Kev. Tell us what you really think.
Ridiculous statement saying it shouldn't even be discussed. Neil Sim, it would have been interesting to see a couple of the youngsters perform in a strong team setup. However, the Challenge Cup semi-final might not be the right game. I actually asked if there was any youngsters that people would have kept in the squad. No one really came in.
There's no forgiveness. You don't mess around in these games.
But it's whether you'd have kept like a Joe Batchelor in and around the 19, I suppose, or
isn't it good though to be having this conversation?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that you can discuss players coming in and out.
Remember when we signed Stu Howarth on loan because we were struggling?
Because Eamon had a dream.
Yeah, Eamon had a dream
to build a rugby team. We had no money,
that.
So we signed Stu Howarth on loan.
What were we again? Bad at the back, bad in attack.
St Helens rugby on the way back.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we are kind of spoilt for choice. That we could have dropped the odd. You're quite happy that you remembered that rhyme, aren't you? That we are at the point that we are spoilt for choice, and we are able to say, well, you know what, putting Joe Batchelor into the 17, technically it might weaken us, but he would get carried along, and especially by one of the better Saints teams, unlike the team that turned out against London. You could put him in there and you wouldn't be worried. And that's not a slight at Joe Batchelor, that's just the first name that's popped into my head. You could do with the same with Callum Hazard, with Josh Eves, with whoever, really. And then last one from social media, at MattSWFC1, Sheffield Wednesday fan, I think. Lomax 1, 5-6, Richardson 7. Don't fancy risking it for Saturday. And then against Wakefield, get a couple of the youngsters in. Keep a quality kicker in and experienced players.
Can't argue with that.
No.
So, last of all then, will we win the semi-final?
Yes.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
A Saints legend retired this week.
Good old Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. Pulled on the Redvee.
Yeah, good luck, Tommy.
Yeah, good luck in his retirement.
Moving swiftly on. London. London, again, a good day out. And I don't want to discuss the game because it's been talked to death, and we were right to make the changes that we did. We knew it was going to happen. Everybody came away quite happy and hopefully a little bit richer, mostly happy.
Yeah.
As in, do you know what? We've seen youngsters perform and the stars of the future are there, and they'll all will benefit down the line for it.
I'm still disappointed we got that.
Oh, okay. But I don't know whether I should be shocked or surprised about how many Saints fans we've got down south.
Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah.
And we talked to quite a few over the weekend, and people some have not got any links to St Helens and have far-flung family. We met one lad who got into supporting Saints because he met a family from St Helens, Azza.
Yeah.
Met a family on holiday in Egypt and became a Saints fan on the back of it.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It's really good to see that we've got that fan base out there, and hopefully, yes, that I think some of them are disappointed that we've gone down south a couple of times this season now and took half a team at times and got beat. But hopefully they will reap the rewards in 4 or 5 weeks' time when we get to Wembley.
Yeah.
And lift the cup.
I do think as well, and I know Justin said that it doesn't come into his thoughts, and we train on a 4G pitch.
It does.
But I think if London still played at the Stoop on a grass pitch, then
we might have played a couple more.
We possibly would have.
First time round. If we play London next season on that 4G pitch, I will guarantee Johnny Lomax and Tommy Makinson will not play on it next season. Yeah. So that tells you all you need to know about that.
Yeah.
One guy I forgot to mention, Chris from Cardiff. We met him in a slightly drunken state after the Wigan game on the walk back into town. He does watch us every week, so I'd say hello. Again,
yeah, it's
far-flung locations. It was his first Saints game that he'd come up for, and what a game he could have picked coming up for a derby win.
Needs to get up more often then.
Yeah, 100% record.
Yeah, just get to, especially the big games, that'll do.
Yeah. Not really much else happened this week. Our esteemed Chief Exec, Mike Rush.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it wrong. Masters of Sports Management. I think I've put it on social media. Whenever you used to get the shouts of, what qualifies Mike Rush to run the club? Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He only needs a PhD now and he'd be on a par with Dr. Marwan.
Without the resources.
But do you know what? You only have to look at the quality of the product on the pitch now, which Mike has been at the helm of the club since I think it's 2012 that he was made Chief Exec. 7 years down the line, the club is essentially in rude health now, aren't they? We're top of the table. We've got a great coach that Mike Rush went over to Australia and recruited. We've got a squad of players that is the envy of the league. And off the pitch, we've made a profit.
Yeah.
Well, it's £19,000, but that's £19,000 profit with the squad that we had last season, and arguably we've got a better squad this season, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the benefits of 2 finals.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully so.
A club that's being run well. That's it. Got to be said.
Well, that's it.
Merchandise in the shop that changes on a frequent basis, that is selling, and if you're not there quick enough, sells out. So
all the concession stands are in house as well. I listened to a podcast with him on, and he recognised that could make money for the club. Listen, he's doing a great job, isn't he?
Unfortunately, Dave never put the camera onto airplane mode and received a phone call. So we filmed the last minute and a half of this video again. Unfortunately, when I've gone to stitch it together to post it onto the YouTube channel, it was in slow motion and was 9.5 minutes long of us talking very slowly. But you didn't miss much. Only Kev being Kev and me being me. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And we will catch you on Saturday for the instant fan reaction. And hopefully we'll get from start to finish with no hiccups.